Welcome guys to John's Football Channel. This is your preview to Brighton versus Chelsea. This is obviously a game we're going to be playing at American Express Stadium. This is game week 34. Craig Pawson will be our referee for this game, the fourth official. So this is going to be, I would say, basically just a normal easy game at the office, I would say. At this point, I don't think we're going to challenge for anything. Realistically, I suppose up front, if you're talking about Champions League football, no. But I suppose keeping where we are, we need to stay sixth right now in order for us to qualify for Europa League, unfortunately. It's either we qualify via the Premier League, or I think, if I'm correct, if we have to win the FA Cup, we automatically qualify for Europa League next season. It is unfortunate, but as the results went against us yesterday, with Liverpool getting the late winner of Everton, it unfortunately has come to this where it's a wrap. And yes, there's a small chance, I suppose, if we do beat Liverpool in the coming days. It would be one fixture where we could say, okay, so we are 7 points behind them. So if we win, we will be 4 points behind them. But even then, we are asking them to drop 4 points without us actually dropping. I think at that stage, I don't think that's possible. I think, yes, we could win maybe 1 or 2 games after around maybe out of the next four games we have left. We could probably win 1 or 2, but I think that's maximum. And I think that's actually being grateful and actually being generous, basically, from our point, if we had to look at it. So let's get into this preview. Let's look at the lineups. So for Brighton, obviously going to go with Van Buren as the goalkeeper, Weaver as the right back, Van Necker and Dunk as the centre backs, and then Marukulu as the left back. Then as the CDMs, they were going to go with Gob and Ura as the CDMs, Minter and Hinneswood and Ruffer as the midfield, and then Welbeck as the striker. Welbeck, we know, has been in some good form. We know on his day he can be a bit dangerous. I mean, he's been around the block for quite some time. So that's another player we actually have to keep our eye on. And we know that they have some good players on the bench that can come on as well. We know that their defense is quite strong with Van Necker and Dunk. It's a decent team that we are facing. We know that this team actually beat Liverpool not too long ago, and just lost 1-0 to Arsenal. So it just shows you more or less that the levels that they can climb to and can actually compete with. So let's take a look at ours. Obviously, we're going to go with Sanchez in goal. Possibly we'll go with Gusto, Fofana and Chalobah as our centre backs. Hopefully Chalobah's back and fully firing all cylinders, because we definitely need him. And then Cucurella as our left back. Probably we'll go again with Enzo and Caicedo as our CDMs. They have Garnacho as our winger. There's no hell in way I'm playing Garnacho. I'd rather have a red card. I'd rather have Garnacho sit on the bench. Just sit. It's fine. If we have no one, just sit. It's fine. No, don't worry. Nothing. I'd rather have 10 men on the field. And then Palmer, Neto as other players, and then Delap, unfortunately, up front because of João Pedro has a thigh injury. If I had to take a look at this, I would actually go with either Santos or Lavia. And I don't know, it's a very on and off thing with Lavia. Is he fit? Is he still injured? What's going on? How long do we have to wait to know we can actually trust him to play a full 90? For this game, I would actually have Santos, Caicedo and Enzo, Palmer on the right, Neto on the left, and then Delap up front. We cannot have Garnacho. I'm sorry. It's a wrap. It's finished. Just leave. We need to sell you, and unfortunately Gittins as well. Gittins, I can be at least. He hasn't played as many games. It is a question of, but even then, I think he's also a player that is scared. I suppose in terms of not if I can remember the last couple of games that he's played, he didn't look scared in terms of at times taking on his man, but I think he doesn't actually do it enough. And I think also in terms of actually shooting, I don't think he shoots enough on the wing. He should just cut in and just shoot like Doku, like Cherki, like Foden. Just dot in and shoot. I think Neto does it a bit too much. I think Neto has taken that role of Madueke, where just a bit too much shooting and not so much crossing. And I think also he, at some points he delays the crosses. And I think hence why we haven't been doing well in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net in terms of from across. So that would be my starting lineup. Let me know, did you guys disagree or agree with my lineup? But that is my lineup for going into this game. This is my best starting lineup. I think this is the best that we can do for this game. Then if we had to look at form, we know with Brighton, they've won the last, they've lost 1-3 and then drawn the recent one against Spurs. And then with us, we have lost 4 and only won 1. With this against Spurs, I would say, not to say that Spurs is that rubbish, but surely they are. I mean, there's a reason why they're on relegation. So surely if Spurs are able to get a draw from Brighton, we should be able to get a draw. Not even a draw, even a win actually. But at this point, I think we would rather take a draw than a loss. Let's start off something. But I think surely we have something in our tanks that actually can go to toe and actually compete with Brighton and get a win. We didn't do that badly against Man United in terms of ball possession and in terms of controlling the tempo. It's just unfortunate that we didn't do nothing with it. It is a question, can we? And it is a question of, will Liam Rosenior do something about it if he sees something going wrong? I mean, with the Man United game, we'll know that he did nothing. He could clearly see that Garnacho wasn't doing what he needed to be done. At that point, when we all realized that Garnacho was not going to do anything, that was the time to actually prove a point to the fans and prove a point to the team that there's standards and actually show where the standards are actually supposed to be. And I think by him staying on, it just showed that Liam Rosenior didn't care. If he cared, he would have done something and would have said no. Something needed to be changed. And this is not the level that we need to play on. And Man United were for the taking. We could have done something against them, and we did nothing. So obviously with Brighton, a win for Brighton would mean that they come above us into the top 6, and it would mean that we would be out of Europa League for next season. Substitutes have scored 11 Premier League goals for Brighton this season, joined Moist in the Premier League. So it just shows you that people off the bench can actually do something. So in that sense, it could also mean that if we 1-0 ahead, we know that we cannot be too relaxed and too eager to know the game is done. We need to know that if they bring players on, there's a chance that one of their players can actually create something from nothing and actually spoil the broth basically, and spoil us getting a win from this game. Brighton have 5 out of the last 6 Premier League matches before drawing against Spurs, so they've been in good form. It's just that Spurs probably is a blip. It would seem so. We would just have to look and see what Brighton do against Chelsea tomorrow. Then we have to look. Liam Delap for Chelsea has failed to score in the last 20 Premier League matches. Appearances for Chelsea. Can you imagine? 20. That's nearly a full Premier League season. Chelsea have 1 win in the last 8 Premier League matches. That's also very, very poor. Chelsea ranked 4th in XG, but 6th, with 7.6 points below their expected tally. So it just shows you that we are able to create. It's just us not putting the ball behind at the back of the net. And then unfortunately, Estevao suffered a hamstring injury against Man United, and is a major doubt, I think, probably for the rest of the season. I don't think, probably in the last 2 maybe he might be able to come back, but for the next 2, I don't think he can actually play. So So it obviously would mean that he actually misses Leeds as well this weekend. Then we have to compare players. It's quite rare that they have João Pedro as one of the players that we're going to compare Welbeck to, because what's the point? I mean, João Pedro, we all know, won't be playing this game. I doubt it with the thigh injury, and especially being so close to start. I mean, we're playing tomorrow, so I don't think he would actually be playing. But if you guys look at Welbeck's actual stats, there he has 12 goals, 11.6 expected goals. Quite surprising, he has 0 assists. Minutes per goal, he has 165. Shots on target, he has 1.3. Player of the match, he has got 3. And then matches played, he has played 32. I don't know how much that exactly averages, but it probably averages around nearly 1 goal every 3 games. And then minutes played, he has played 1,976 minutes. So yeah, I don't think there's a point of actually comparing with João Pedro. But probably the next best player probably would be either Neto or Palmer going against Welbeck for this game. Let me know down below what you guys think. Do you guys think if we had to compare Palmer or Neto, do you think we have better stats or is the stats worse? I suppose they would probably be worse, considering that it's been a while since we have won a game, so probably our stats would be far lower than Welbeck if we had to compare one of our players to him. Then if we take a look at the Premier League table, obviously we sit currently sixth with 48 points, Liverpool on 55, and then Aston Villa also got their win, so they're also on 58 with Man United. Brentford and Bournemouth also have a chance to touch us if they win their next game. Even Everton, if Everton win their next game, they also can. Even the likes of Sunderland. I mean, if they win, then probably not likely they're all gonna win, but any one of those teams can actually top us if we don't get a point against Brighton. I suppose for it to actually bring home the actual point that we've been trying to make as fans to Blueco, I would like to see us drop probably around 9-10, just to actually prove the actual point that how it's been this season. I don't think we're nowhere near the levels that we should be, and I think the owners have actually been hindering us. Yes, I can understand. I think most people are not understanding the sense. Yes, they made a mistake. Yes, they probably overspent, but I suppose we can't. The only thing I could say is we probably spent too much money, and now they've known for some time that they don't have any money in the kitty for us to buy players, hence why we haven't bought any good players recently. That's the only thing I can allow as to why we haven't bought any good players. But I would suppose if it been a case that we had money and we haven't bought, then yes, it would be definitely a question of get out. But that is the only reason why I'm still a bit on the fence as to give them a chance. But I'm more on a chance of 70 to 30, more leading me to telling them to get out than for them to actually stay. If they actually leave, I would think that it would take some time also for us to get to the level where we need to be. But it is a question. I mean, if we do get someone new, then probably we could actually get there. I mean, with some new injection of money and a new injection of a owner, could actually do something for this team and actually create some inspiration and move it to a new level, basically a better level than we've been. So let me know down below if you guys have seen who do you think can come as an owner for Chelsea Football Club if we had to sell. Who would you guys actually like to see as our new owners if we had the chance to do so? And then obviously if West Ham are playing tonight, so if West Ham get a point, that would obviously mean that Wolves are officially relegated, and it will increase the chances of obviously Burnley. So yeah, guys, let me know down below what you guys think. How do you guys see these games going? Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And peace.